The earliest documented instances of piracy date back to the 14th century BC in Aegean and Mediterranean waters. For thousands of years, ships carrying valuable goods have had to worry about hostile pirates boarding the ship and seizing the riches. Naturally, the crews and owners of these ships and their cargo had to start fighting back. Early defense systems might have simply included men with swords, handguns, or cannons. Today, as pirates become more bold and violent, the defense systems need to match them. It's not just water guns anymore, but onboard defense teams with heavy weapons and even automated systems like flamethrowers are being considered. Let's take a closer look at all these new methods of fighting against pirates. Welcome to Boost. The International Maritime Bureau reports that piracy leads to annual losses nearing $16 billion due to theft, ransom demands, transport disruptions, and other related issues. While many consider piracy a problem of the past, today's pirates still pose a significant threat, targeting shipping routes and vessels to loot, kidnap, and wreak havoc. Today's pirates are increasingly daring, going so far as to confront naval vessels and shoot at military helicopters. To defend against these threats, cargo ships and container vessels have innovated a range of clever defense strategies. While it's getting more common to carry lethal weapons on board cargo ships, many still favor non-lethal ways of trying to get pirates to back off. The primary strategy for preventing pirates from boarding a ship involves utilizing water cannons. These powerful devices can eject over 1,000 gallons of seawater per minute, with some models, like the renowned Unifier cannons, achieving pressure levels up to 175 psi. Such force is strong enough to push individuals overboard and displace small vessels. The cannon nozzles, crafted from corrosion-resistant marine-grade stainless steel, are designed for remote operation from the ship's control center or for automatic purposes. This feature is crucial, especially since pirates often resort to firearms, presenting a significant danger to anyone manually operating these defenses. Despite skepticism about their efficacy, various hoses and deployment tactics have been proven in tests and real situations to be effective maritime security measures. Instead of just targeting individual pirates, these cannons can fill boats, making them clumsy and challenging to control. This alone can divert the attacker's attention, forcing them to focus on maintaining their own safety rather than continuing their attack. But what about replacing the water with something that burns, and then using the cannon as a flamethrower? Sounds crazy? It has actually been tested. But more about that later on this video. If you've enjoyed the video so far and would like to see more from Boost, click the subscription and like buttons under this video. Long-range acoustic devices are increasingly utilized as non-lethal measure for piracy defense on commercial vessels. These devices emit highly directional, focused beams of sound that are intolerable to the human ear, making them effective at deterring potential pirate attacks from a distance. The intense sound can disorient and deter pirates without causing permanent harm, providing ship crews with a critical window to escalate their response or move to a safer distance. These devices can also be used for clear communication over vast distances, ensuring warnings can be understood by approaching vessels. Their use as part of a multi-layered defense strategy enhances the overall security of ships traversing high-risk areas. In some cases, maritime security experts think that trapping the pirates in some way might be more effective than simply trying to deter them. This led to the development of the P-trap, a passive, non-lethal mechanism designed to keep pirates from getting too close to the vessel. It consists of two strong boom arms on both sides of the ship. These arms drag strong lines behind them. If a boat approaches these lines, the propeller will become fouled, stalling the engine and forcing the pirates to waste time clearing their propeller and hopefully stop the attack. If pirates still try boarding the ship, there are physical barriers such as barbed or razor wire to prevent them from doing so. Wrapped around the lower deck's perimeter, barbed wire makes it significantly more challenging for pirates to climb aboard from small boats. Ships might also use anti-climb paint, a slick coating that makes surfaces too slippery for pirates to grasp or climb. Together, these non-lethal measures form a formidable defense, discouraging pirates from attempting to board and providing the crew with extra security. But what if this is not enough, and it seems like the pirates will be successful in their attempt to board the ship, or have already done so? Let's take a closer look at more serious methods of defending these ships against pirates. Cargo ships traversing high-risk piracy zones increasingly employ onboard security teams as a proactive defense measure. These security personnel are typically well-trained, former military or law enforcement officers equipped with both non-lethal and lethal weapons to deter pirate attacks. The presence of these security teams adds an essential layer of safety, ensuring the crew and cargo remain protected throughout the voyage. While sailing through dangerous waters, these security experts maintain a vigilant watch, conduct regular drills, and collaborate closely with the ship's captain and crew to implement best safety practices. Their expertise and readiness significantly reduce the likelihood of successful pirate boardings and contribute to the overall security of maritime operations in troubled regions. But what tools do these security teams use to defend their ships? Onboard security teams, when facing severe piracy threats, may resort to using firearms as part of their defense strategy. They typically engage in careful planning and employ tactical maneuvers such as maintaining a safe distance and positioning themselves strategically around the ship to cover multiple access points. Firearms are only used as a last resort, after all non-lethal methods have been exhausted and there is a clear, immediate threat to the lives of the crew and the safety of the ship. Depending on the situation, the security personnel will likely first try to neutralize the threat without causing unnecessary harm, such as by shooting warning shots. These teams also coordinate closely with the ship's captain and communicate with international naval forces for support if needed. While not a standard security measure, the concept of using flamethrowers for ship defense against piracy could draw inspiration from historical military applications, such as the Zippo boats used during the Vietnam War. These boats were equipped with flamethrowers to clear dense riverbanks, demonstrating the effectiveness of flame in certain combat scenarios. However, employing flamethrowers on modern cargo ships would present significant safety, legal, and ethical challenges. The risk of collateral damage, severe injuries, and international maritime law violations makes this option highly controversial and unlikely to be adopted for anti-piracy measures. But what happens if nothing works and the pirates still manage to board the ship? The defense methods mentioned are designed against pirates that try to board the ship using small boats. But what would happen if these pirates used a helicopter? Well, we don't have to imagine, because on November 19, 2023, a helicopter approached the Israeli-owned cargo ship Galaxy Leader while it was cruising across a Red Sea shipping route. The helicopter dropped off a handful of armed Houthi rebels on top of the ship. The surprise attack came out of the blue for the crew, and even if they had received a warning, there was nothing that could be done with such a short notice. In hijacking scenarios like this, once the attackers are on board, there's really only one thing left that the crew could do to try to make the hijackers leave, and I'm not suggesting that they start a gunfight. If all attempts to prevent the pirates from boarding the ship fail, the best thing for the crew to do is issue a mayday to notify authorities and hope that they can help somehow. Unfortunately, due to the often distant location and risks of intervening, even the authorities might be afraid of physically assisting and instead recommend the shipping companies to pay the hostage ransom. If possible, the crew could try shutting off the vessel and go into a safe room that cannot be reached by the pirates. Pirates typically don't have the capability to operate the vessel, and if they can't take anyone hostage, they have no leverage. They would most likely be forced to leave, especially if the Navy or Coast Guard were to arrive at the scene. But in the situation of Galaxy Leader, the element of surprise from the sky made this option impossible. The Galaxy Leader is a car carrier, but during the hijacking had no cars on board. The Houthis knew this but didn't care because the hijacking was politically motivated. As of March 2024, the crew of the Galaxy Leader is still being held as hostage near a bay off the coast of Yemen. In fact, it's common for hostage situations to last for months, and in some cases, even years. So the next time you order something online, just remember the risky journey your package might take to reach your doorstep. What do you think of these anti-piracy methods? Do you have any better ideas? Comment your thoughts below. Keep watching more videos by Boost, like this one on your screen now.